Hey guys, it's me, RST, and it's time for yet another build video. Today I've got 3 sword and shield builds for you. Before we get into it, I'm going to talk about a couple things. First of all, these are 3 kind of experimental builds. One of them is going to be pretty meta. One of them is kind of a little bit out there. You know, I kind of tried some different stuff, used some skills you're not really typically going to see on sword and shield. And one of them is so far out there, don't know what to call it, don't know how to describe it. It has got some goofy skills, but it works. I tried all of these builds before we did it, and it works actually surprisingly well. So if I were you guys, I would encourage you to try all of these builds. I really like them a lot. I really love sword and shield and rise. Secondly, after this video goes out, I will be live streaming, so make sure you guys come over and check that out if you watch this video soon after upload. And finally, we're going to do the same concept we did on this video as we did on the hammer video, where I'm going to have you guys leave a comment below on what build you'd like to see me do next. Whichever comment gets the most likes, or if multiple people comment the same build, whichever one has the most kind of votes for it, that's going to be the next build video I make. So today it is Friday as of me recording this video, and it will come out on Friday. On Saturday, I'm going to decide who won. So about 24 hours afterwards, I'll look and see which has the most likes, and whoever won, I will comment on that and let you guys know that I will be making that build video. And on Sunday, that build video will come out. So this time, I'm hoping it'll be a little bit more competitive. Last time we had a couple submissions. I will make you guys the absolute best build that I can, but I really want you guys to kind of compete over it, okay? So I want to see some good ideas thrown around for my own sake as well, because I'm interested to see what you guys can kind of think of. But that's going to be it, and let's get right into this build video.
Alright guys, it is time to get into these builds. So first we're going to go over the build that I think is kind of the middle experimental. The first one I made is definitely kind of going to be the most meta. And then this one is kind of a little bit different. I wanted to make stuff different since the sword and shield, although I love it, can be a basic weapon at times is in terms of skills. You know, a lot of the times it's going to be one of those where you just want all the damage boosting, affinity, crit skills, all those things. So this first one is going to be using the Diablo sword and shield. So if we take a look at it, it's going to have 292 attack. That is pretty dang good if I do say so myself. The sword and shield itself is called the Spiked Bat. Its base raw is 230 with decent blue and really good green. So even though it's a Diablo's weapon, it's honestly got better sharpness than I think most weapons have had in the past, and most Diablo's weapons have in this game. No element, obviously. And then after putting on our affinity boost 3, it has got 3% affinity. It normally has negative 5% affinity. To choose from, you only have affinity boost, defense boost, and small monster exploit. I figured let's go ahead and negate that negative affinity so we don't have to worry about it. We're not going for affinity with this build, obviously, because we would have to do an insane amount in order to get it to 100% affinity. I don't think it'd be worth it. That's not what this build's really meant for. But at least, you know, 3% of the time we're going to get a really strong hit. So as you can see, also it comes with no slots. Now, this set as a whole is going to give us attack boost 7, slugger level 3, which I'll get into that, part breaker level 3, I'll get into that, speed sharpening level 3, critical eye level 2, razor sharp level 2, focus 1, recovery speed 1, windproof 1, stun resistance 1, flinch free 1, and diversion 1. So this is going to be kind of my like switch skill focused-ish build. I thought about putting in some wire bug whisper. If you guys wanted to, you definitely could, but whenever we get into the switch skills later, you'll see that one of them is very good for KOing. Already there's one combo path. The shield bash combo path is pretty good for KOing. I'm going to end up going for a different combo with the switch skills, but the switch skill that changes out our wire bug move is definitely really good for KOing. It has crazy KO potential, and this makes it just even better. Part breaker is just because this is going to be kind of my melee part breaker set. So I've got a sticky part breaker set that I already showed you guys. This is going to be, if I want to go in there, I don't feel like playing bowguns, I just want to whack on something a lot. This is going to be what I'm going to use, especially with its high damage. I feel like it's a really good thing. Also, we've got attack boost 7. Again, with this having low affinity, I feel like just straight up attack boost is going to be our best bet here. Speed sharpening, as always, in order to take it from 4 swipes down to 1. Critical eye 2 is just a byproduct. Razor sharp 2 is so that sometimes the sharpness will not go down. I just had some extra room, so I went for razor sharp. Focus is byproduct. Recovery speed, I just had a level 1 slot. Windproof, byproduct. Stun resistance, flinch free, and diversions are all because I had a level 1 slot as well. So into the armor, we're going to use the Anjanath helm, the Rathalos mail, the Anjanath van braces, the Anjanath Coil, and the Ingot Greaves. So the helm is going to give us a level of focus and a level of slugger. Again, we're just doing this for slugger. This is kind of a weird build, I won't lie to you guys. It's going to give us slugger, and then I put in a level of part breaker. The mail is going to give us a level of attack boost, a level of part breaker, and a level of windproof, and then I slotted in a level of speed sharpening. The van braces are going to give us 2 levels of slugger, 2 levels of attack boost, and then I slotted in a level of speed sharpening. The coil is going to give us 2 levels of attack boost, and then we slotted in a level of part breaker, a level of flinch free, and a level of speed sharpening. Finally, for the Greaves, it gave us 2 levels of attack boost, and then there's where we get our 2 levels of critical eye from. And we're also going to slot in a diversion jewel. Finally, always demon petal ace. And for this talisman, again, I had some extra room. I didn't really want to do anything affinity related. I went through and looked at every single talisman, which I will give you guys a quick tip. If you want to sort through your talismans, go to change equipment, go to this equipment box down here, go to hit Y and do equipment search, and then go over to talisman by hitting left bumper and do skills, and you can look through all of these. So I looked through all of these and I determined that Razor Sharp basically was going to be my best one, honestly. I did not find this out myself. I found out by watching the Third Fleet podcast with Gaijin Hunter and Rurikon. I highly recommend it. So that's where I found out about this. All credit goes to them. I think it was specifically Gaijin who knew about it. So this talisman gives us Razor Sharp level 2, and then we slotted in 1 level of stun resistance, 1 level of recovery speed. So that is the first build. The second build is going to be my safest one. Again, I think that this is going to be one that everybody will kind of want and expect, but I didn't want to start with something expected, even though it is a good one. I want to point out just in case you guys are unaware. So this is going to be your Narghakuga Weapon. All of the Narghakuga weapons, for the most part, are very good. So first of all, the weapon is the Flash in the Night. It gives us a pretty good amount of green, a pretty good amount of blue, and a fairly good, for high rank at this point in the game, amount of white. It is basically one of the only weapons you can get white on without handicraft, so that's really nice. It's going to give us quite a good attack multiplier. Gives us 30% affinity, which actually for Narghakuga weapons is low, sadly. Most of them give you 40 the melee weapons, but that's alright, we made it work anyway. And we put the attack boost 3 skill on here in order to get us to 188. The base is 180. So we're going to use Zenogre Helm, Narghakuga Mail, Rathalos Braces, Anjanath Coil, and the Rajang Leggings. So each of these give us total attack boost 5, critical eye 4, weakness exploit 3, speed sharpening 3, critical boost 2, latent power 2, recovery speed 1, evade window 1, stun resistance 1, bombardier 1, and flinch free. So we had to take 2 points out of attack boost and put them into critical eye, because 1 level of critical eye equals 5% affinity. So these 20% and our 30% from the base weapon gives us 50, and that combined with weakness exploit level 3 gives us 100% crit chance on weak points. Speed sharpening is the best sharpening skill in my opinion, or sharpness skill in general. Critical boost level 2 is going to give us 35% more damage on our critical hits. Latent power 2 is just a byproduct. Recovery speed 1, evade window, stun resistance, bombardier, and flinch free are all because I had a level 1 slot except for evade window. So back to the equipment. Zenogre Helm is going to give us a level of weakness exploit and a level of latent power, and we slotted in a level of speed sharpening. This is going to give us evade window and critical eye, slotted in 2 levels of speed sharpening. The Rathalos Braces give us 2 levels of attack boost and slotted in another. The Anjanath Coil is going to give us 2 levels of attack boost. We slot in a level of critical eye, a level of recovery speed, and a level of bombardier. And finally, the Rajang Leggings are going to give us 2 levels of critical boost, a level of latent power, and we slot in flinch free and stun resistance. As always, demon petal ace. And this talisman is actually pretty rare. It's a level 2 weakness exploit, as you can see, with no slots. If you don't have this, you just have a level 1, you can mix it around. I would say weakness exploit is the absolute priority of this build, but if you didn't already know, you can use the Scalda coil, which you can look up videos on how to get that, and that will give you the exact same, it's the same as this talisman. It's 2 levels of weakness exploit and no slots, so it's still really good, but I just like this better. So if you need a budget version, that's what you can do instead, and put whatever talisman you wish here. Now, finally, we are going to talk about a different build. This one is so different, I didn't even know what to name it. It's just kind of, I threw some skills together if I'm keeping it 100% with y'all. So we're going to take a look. It's going to give us attack boost 7, razor sharp 3, speed sharpening 3, bombardier 3, critical eye 2, spare shot 2, slugger 2, part breaker 2, windproof 1, stun resistance 1, flinch free 1, wire bug whisperer 1. So this is just going to be my kind of still do really good damage, but sleep bomber set because my Palico and Palamute both have sleep weapons on them. So I usually get 1 or 2 sleeps a hunt. Well, usually 1. And then the monster is dead very soon after that first one. But I'm able to do a giant wake up hit with bombs on this with Bombardier level 3. The Razor Sharp was added in so that we have a 50% chance not to take any sharpness away on a hit. So our sharpness should last a very long time, even though the sharpness is already pretty decent on this Diablos weapon. Critical Eye 2 is just to get rid of the negative affinity. Spare Shot 2 is just a byproduct. Slugger 2 and Part Breaker 2 are both kind of supposed to be there just to, again, more like the first build, do their purposes. Windproof is just a byproduct of the build, and Stun Resistance and Flinch Free were both a level 1 slot, and Wirebug Whisperer is just a byproduct. So everything on these is the same, just different decos, but we're using the Utsushi Mask hidden instead to get the 2 levels of Razor Sharp. Again, Spare Shot and Wirebug Whisperer are both nice, or mainly the Wirebug Whisperer, but they are not what we were going for. And then we slot in a level of Bombardier. These again, we just slot in Speed Sharpening, Part Breaker, Speed Sharpening, Flinch Free, a Bombardier, and I believe this is another Bombardier, and a Stun Resistance. So now we're going to get into the switch skills. So first, taking a look, we have got the Hard Basher combo. This could be our A combo. Forward and A is going to do a 3-hit blunt shield combo. That's going to do good KO damage, but it's a little bit basic. You know, it's been in games for a long time, so I wanted to switch it up. And even though this seems like it's more meant for elemental sword and shield, because it does a lot of hits. So you press the button 3 times and it does a bunch of hits. Look like this. We're gonna do. So you stick the sword in and it just rips out and does 3 hits. It's really satisfying. I've cut tails with it quite a bit because I go specifically for the tail cut with that, and it feels really nice. So we're gonna keep that on instead of the advancing slash, which is the classic move that goes like that. You know, not a whole lot too special about it. It's a really good opener. Or a little quick move to get you closer to the monster, but we are going to use the sliding slash. So it has 3 different versions. There's this, there's that, where you do, so this is just X and A with nothing. This is X and A and an A and another A, and then we finally got X and A, and you connect with the monster and you do, it's like aerial style. You go up and then you can hit either A to do falling bash, which is what I pretty much always do, or hit X and do a really weak jumping slash. So I'm gonna end up using this every time for sure over the forward slash, or whatever it's called, the advancing slash. And then finally, these are both pretty good. This is like round slash from GU, but I prefer the second skill, and it's why we have Slugger on these. It's going to do this. It is invincible for a good part, and it's a good quick move, but it just doesn't do much damage. You are truly invincible for most of the move. No knockback or damage, but I'm gonna go more for the Metsu Shoryugeki. Now, a lot of you guys will remember this move from World, but it is different in this game. So right there, when you're waiting before you go up, where you're holding your shield in front of you, that is actually a guard point. So I actually did really good damage even without it. But if a monster hits that, you instantly do the move. So most of the time you will hit them in the head because they're attacking you with the head or going forward. And you do a ton of damage. There's multiple times where I haven't done any KO damage to the head, and I will just straight up get a KO first guard point Metsu right off the bat in a hunt, and it feels amazing. So that is going to be it for this video. I had 3 builds. I tried to go for some different stuff today, not just straight up meta stuff. I had one that was more meta with the Narghakuga, and then I had 2 that were completely my own idea and creation that are still going to be really good damage because the Diablo's Sword and Shield is such high raw and pretty good sharpness. But we went ahead and looked at all 3 of these. Again, one of them is pretty weird, one of them is just kind of more experimental, one of them is meta. But that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike and tell me why. Subscribe if you guys like this. I'm wanting to come out with more builds. And finally, I'm gonna add this into the start of the video as well. We're gonna do the same thing as what we did on the hammer video. Whoever gets the most likes on their comment for a build will get a video for their build in 2 days. So I'm gonna check tomorrow. Today is Friday, the day I'm recording this. Sunday around the end of the day, there will be a build out for whoever wins by Saturday. So that's gonna be it for today's video. I will also be live streaming after this video goes up, so make sure to come over and check that out if you watch this soon after uploading. And that's gonna be it, guys. Thank you so much and have a great day.